Welcome to another major show today. And you're welcome to the Throne Room, produced by the Bigger Picture. And today we have something amazing, something historic, something for the records. It's no other way that I could express my gratitude and my appreciation for what you're about to witness right now. Right now, this is going into all of our history. This is going into the archive. This is going into what started it all, what even have me on the platform to be able to speak to you, what have everyone on platforms being able to speak to you. The man who began this whole entire movement out. And I can't even begin to express my love and my gratitude for him, for saving so many brothers from the community that would have had different lives, that would have had different experiences if it wasn't for what this man began. The only thing that I could express to you and say to you, now way back in the days when hip hop began with Coke, Kool Herc, and then bam, I would love to introduce my brother, the gracious king, the honorable Kool Rock.
Thank you,
Coke
man.
Rock.
It's such a pleasure, and just meeting you, man. Your aura alone, I love it.
Brother, my
I love
aura
it.
is
I
off of
love
your
it.
aura.
Yes, and it's good. And I got Lucky Bling with me, but thank you, man.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Much respect to Lucky
Thank you.
Blaine. You know what I'm saying? Much respect. So today, like I said, is something very special. Um, I'm hoping that history is documented because in our community, if we let this go on for a certain amount of time, history will not be documented in the way it needs to be. And right here, we are sitting with history. We are sitting with someone who started this all. He's the first actual MC on the microphone. So for many of you kids out there, you need to get your popcorn out and, get your pen and pad, take notes, because this is one of those type of shows. So, it started out from the Bronx, right?
Yeah, got it 15, 20,
Yeah.
I'm Bronx born. Herc
Bronx.
is from Jamaica. And came out of the little recreation room, a 50-cent party, for his sister, as they say, Cindy, going back to school. But then again, it showed the unity of the neighborhood. That's all it was the neighborhood guys. And everybody always got together. Like, you knew who was in your neighborhood. It wasn't like where you was so able to go anywhere, especially as young kids. As you got older, you might be able to move around. So like I said, it was the neighborhood there, you know? And what made it different to me more than anything, Herc had a real sound system. See, people don't, again, you mostly played on your mother's set or your people's stuff in your living room, which you ain't supposed to touch, to me, because like I said, you had clubs, you had ballrooms then. See, people don't even talk that due to the age of partying. And most of the parties then, you had to wear shoes. See, they tried to act like Kool Herc's parties was different, but to me, we made sneakers popular to get in the club because I wore Pumas back then, once again. And we always had sneakers because a lot of guys couldn't go in the clubs because really you wasn't old enough. People don't even tell that back in the day. You had to be like 17, 18 to really get in the clubs, So under that, everybody had house parties. People call them rent parties. People call them this, they call them that. But a party's a party. And the West Bronx, where I came from, it was a little different because we had three churches to show you again the unity of a church. We talk and we say what we say, but one church had talent shows. The next church always had a little event. And then you had contests, everybody wanted to be Motown. They wanted to be singers. And even where I came from, they would want to beat you up if you copy the guy's move. This is before they named it B-boys. Yeah, everybody danced, once again, like not taking the claim for creating things that been going on, but in another stage of music. It went along with the music because guys can say what they want, but I ain't hear nobody talking over the mic on a consistent basis. And I remember playing at places, 170 City Mission. I was with Herc, and like I said, that wasn't my main focus of running DJing or whatever. But when we got together, I played the music. This is how I catch some of y'all too, when y'all be like, MC Kool Herc. Like, when you classify me totally as an MC, I know you wasn't at the beginning of the parties. It's too much I can know at the beginning because I played records. I played records and I talk for myself. That's where some of the rhymes came from. Like when I tell you I'm a man of my own, never was a stepping stone. I didn't grow up and want to be Kool Herc. Kool Herc didn't want to be Kool Herc, but I became who I am. And once again, like I said, I am who I am. I'm a man of my own, never a stepping stone.
That's beautiful. And yeah, I do know that you was a DJ. You used to
Right.
DJ at most of the
Yes,
parties.
yes. See, I played the R&B side of hip hop. Now that I really see it, I played dominoes. I played T Plays It Cool. I played Body Talk. I played records, and records I played had no vocal because that's where I felt comfortable talking over the record. Now I do the James Brown. Come on, you know we're pop with that. You know what I'm saying? On talking with it, but I mostly talked on music. You know, which again, it came out, and I wasn't a talker to be talking on the streets and all that. I'm 5'11". I had thick glasses, which you can see in a sense, but I was a giant of a man in a small frame, tougher than tough. That ain't no bluff.
As you can see, still have the lyrics.
Yeah.
I love that. Before we go too much forward, I would like to rewind though, because so many people that watch our platform can never rewind back into the 70s
Okay, go
and the
ahead.
60s. So can you elaborate even to me? My queen is from the Bronx. What was the Bronx at that time?
Okay, like the Bronx, like I said, the West Side, you had the West, you had the East to me in its own right. I mean, I was born on the East Side, 827 Home Street, Prospect and Union. And my mother moved over to the West Side, Jessup Avenue, and I just was going into the 6th grade. I was going to junior high school, 82. But the West Side wasn't burnt up, you know, like again and it wasn't infatuated with gangs because I remember my mother and father was my mother really, single parent. My mother was the first black family in the building on Jessup Avenue. It was a lot of different mixed nationalities, but it was a lot of working class people. So again, it wasn't a lot of destruction. And like I said, we had the night center, the after school center, the programs to help the kids just as well. And like you said, like to me, you had the older guys, and like the older guys, you had a mentor. To me, they was the mentor, the older guys on the block who you followed and looked up to. And then the parties itself, man, like Herc's mother and father was there. It wasn't like we was in there with blue lights and controlling it. It was lights was on. It wasn't no type of just dancing the girls on the wall and just getting crazy. It was a family unit because everybody knew. My friend Easy Al, Deucey, their mother, Dottie, she gave parties even before Herc started giving parties. But everybody did their thing. But the hip hop part, I see, came through the combination of me and Herc and me talking. And that came accidental. It wasn't, like I said, my mind wasn't geared that way because, like I said, at that time, a lot was going on with Harlem, the American gangster, guys coming home from Vietnam, and it was a ball of confusion. That's why Temptation said it. It was a ball of confusion, man. Growing up in the city then, man, and like the West Side, like I said, had a little more things going on, and it just started happening because I remember even just giving out names. Like I said, it happened with the team. I found out, and most of us can understand that everybody grew up off AKAs. Nobody knew your government. They still don't know government people name. You know, if your nose ran, they call you Booger. If you're real dark, they call you Black. You know, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's how it started. So like, we all had different names. I mean, at the beginning, I was Coco. You know what I'm saying? But that was because in reality, through the house, I couldn't drink regular milk. So at the time, you only can mix it with cocoa. So my family would call me that. Then as I got a little older, you know, I didn't mind the girls, but the guys, I ain't really feel that, you know, because they'll put a little Coco. So I'm like, nah, y'all ain't gonna be calling me that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I created Kool Rock. That was a creation in my own head. Herc's father gave me a name. See, that's why, again, they didn't see when Herc's father used to travel with us at the Executive Playhouse until whatever he seen that we was good, you know? And names itself, he gave me Nasty Coat. Herc put that on the flyer. But at that time, I wasn't into none of that. I was like, Joe, you ain't got to put my name like we know now. Some guys doing things, you don't want your name out there. And that's why I was never scared to be in the back. But the back is still the front because me and Herc always stand back to back. So you never see our backs. But that's the unity of growing up. Like with me, I gave people names, you know, and it's a habit, but it's just a feeling, man, you know. And like I said, the parties then was lovely, man, you know. And the difference with the parties then, we slow danced. That went away. This is why I think the guys beat the girls up now because they don't know how to handle them and hold them or nothing. You know, no disrespect to you new guys, but that's where we lost a lot at, man. You know, but sometimes people try to paint it like it's a golden ticket. You know, like there's no, I know somebody said, Coach, stop cursing, stop saying this words. How can I do that? That's like going in a bar and ordering milk and I'm amongst gangsters. I didn't pick that. Like I said again, I grew up with my mother. I went to church with grandma every Sunday, Greater Zion Baptist Church. You never forget, till I was about 15 to understand and was able to make the choice. And the choices you make is what take us where we go. Like when you think you beat the nerd up in school and you get at a person because they're smart, but later on, man, and I'm a perfect example, later on you see that person you was thinking because he's smart, he's the boss and you're just a handyman. So again, the education part is we got to get it, even with the unity, you know, in the way of how it is. You're going to have the good, the bad, and ugly. That's how I consider hip hop, period. This is why I can't say, well, I like this guy, I like that guy. I have to like all of that because I'm a heart seeker. It came out of me. Look, it went to gospel. I never thought that. The day Scott LaRock passed away, I cried. Doc LaRock, I cried. Like they was my sons. And I say it again, if Coke LaRock wasn't that guy, I named my son LaRock. His name is Dante LaRock. He should be 46 something. But again, that was even way before people even thought about how far this thing was going. But I always felt that was before my time. And I used to tell her, like, man, it's like every party we go to, we pick up 50 more people. And I said, it's like the Pied Piper, but in a whole nother way. That's why they tell you again, if you ain't been to a Kool Herc party, you didn't understand the fundamentals of hip hop. And why would you take a cat's name? There's Butchie LaRock, Scott LaRock, Doc LaRock, K LaRock. There's about 8D, RC LaRock. They're still taking LaRock. That's my patent. I am Coke LaRock.
That's amazing. And not only the name, from what I understand, our dress code.
Yeah, once again.
Our dress code,
yes,
us wearing these sneakers and the b-boy look, that all came from the way you originated it out.
Because again, talking, you know, like I said, as growing, I had 69ers at first. I had Cornberries at first, like everybody, with the star on the side. But tell you a story, I went on Brooklyn Boulevard and I was about 12. And I went in the Army and Navy store. And when I came out, some older guys was like, Shorty, come here. What size you wear? And I said, yo, what y'all trying to do? He was like, what size you wear? So I said, I wear a 7. He was like, take them off. So I was like, come on, guys, these are grown men. I said, yo, so he said, I said, take them off. But I ran track. Nobody knew. I've been running track since the 3rd grade. Nobody's faster than me. So when I bent down, boom, I was gone. And they chased me and they was like, go on, shorty, because they couldn't catch me. To show you on the strength of taking stuff. I remember even trying to get money to, you know, save up for Christmas or or summertime or whatever, I started packing bags. As soon as we got out from packing bags, the guys, come here, man. They took our money. I'm like, you couldn't do nothing without all the guys robbing you. You give a party. When you gave the parties back then, see, people tell us, oh, it was always nice. It wasn't always nice. You get a party, y'all sell beer, you know, that's when your mother and them ain't in there, so everybody's selling everything. And half an hour before the party's over, the older guys take your money, take all the beer, and they go out. Wow. And they live on the block. See, that's the different part, like I said, with the Kool Herc party. Y'all know we had stick-up guys there. They lived in the party. They was robbing 30 people a night and not leaving. The show, that's why I said a lot of guys talk. What they did, who they was. But that's why I say some guys are the Lion Kings, you know, because they telling lies. You had to be a little strong to be in the Kool Herc party. You had to be strong. I remember don't go in the bathroom. We used to have to tell you over the mic, do not go in there, especially Christmas and New Year's. You go in there with your shirlings, your jewelry, whatever you got, and you come out butt naked. Yep. And the party's still going, because we don't realize it, man. You knew the stick-up guys by names. You know, they had 3 main name ones, you know, and y'all know. You had Roro, you had Divine, you had a couple of more. Then you had the hustlers. Like I said, I came from the blocks. I knew Bat, Cisco, cats that started having money. And that's why a lot of cats used to come see Kool Herc, because we hung out. I hung in after-hour spots back then. This is why people don't understand. I sold 8 tracks. Which one of you cats ever sold 8 tracks? I sold 8 tracks for $50. 50 back then. Once again, I was the first G money man. I kept a G or better any type of weather, cold or hot, rain or not. Born in the orphan, fought like a slave, chucking and fighting is all Kool Herc played.
For those that don't know, bars. Yeah, definitely bars. For those that don't know, he just named you some legendary men. Bat, Cisco, for all you hustlers out there that might be too young, you don't even understand who those people are. But those who are of age, he just named some legendary men just there. And he let you know he knew these people. He was entangled with these people. Much respect. So, it all started, as you said, with was Cindy party, was that the exact time it started, or y'all was already
No,
going?
that's when it started. That's when the door kind of opened. You know, because like I said, I never knew Kool Herc was in the music. Mm-hmm. You know, I met her in the sense of seeing him through a young lady that lived in the area. And then I didn't realize me and Herc was in the same school. Herc went to Alfred E. Smith. I was in Alfred E. Smith. Then I used to see Herc come through the neighborhood. And something happened one day, you know, his lady, no disrespect to her, you know, because she was going with Kool Herc. So, you know, she smacked the guy one day. And I was like, yo, why you let her smack you? And she said, what do you talk about? I'll smack you. And I was like, nah, don't do that. And she was like, I'm going to go get Herc on you. I was like, all right. Then my team, we on the block, Herc's coming. And Herc had started being around us. But when he came, he could feel it because everybody, they was like, we're going to jump him. And I was like, nah, y'all can't do that. I don't do that. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to fight. Win or lose. There's only one winner. There ain't going to be 2 winners in a fight. You accept a good loss or whatever, man. But no, I wasn't with a lot of things I wasn't with. So when Herc came, ain't nobody say nothing. So me and Herc was more tighter than my team because I knew the team. And he was like, Coke, everything all right? And I was like, let me talk to you. And we went to the side. And I said, your lady is doing some things because you that guy, big wise. I said, so I said this to her because she said she was going to put her hands on me. So he was like, nah, Coke, I explained that. I'm just saying, you can't do that. And he went and checked her and her right. And then we got real strong. Then I had a fight in school with a guy, and John Shaft. His name was John Shaft. He used to be at the tunnel, you know. You know, and I beat up Shaft, and then Herc called me Bumpy. So they was like, Bumpy beat up Shaft. You know what I'm saying? So in the school part, we got all right. And I was like, Herc, when you be riding your bike, because Herc had a fixed bike. Like I said, coming from Jamaica, they had fixed bikes. Herc swim and do all that other athletic stuff in the water and stuff. And I was like, where you coming from? I used to see him just ride by the park, never stop, play ball. And he was like, I'm coming from Central Park. I said, doing what? He said, riding 26 miles. I was like, what?
Wow.
You riding 26 miles, man? Your legs ain't hurting? You know, like, I couldn't understand that. But fitness-wise, you know, and then in school, he realized, like I said, I was running track since the 3rd grade. And, like, I used to consider myself a black Ben Hur, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do sports very well. You know, I'm in the top 5, and like I said, running track was my best. Boxing was 2nd, ball was 3rd. I'm 5'11", I'm dunking on a catch 6'7". I knocked out the 73 Mars senior boxing champ, you know what I'm saying, in some knuckle thing. Not bragging again, but as a little man, I always felt, you know, like I got a strong heart, you know, and again, man, you know, if you're doing good things happen. But growing up too, you had to defend yourself, you know, no wrong or right. And that's why I say you got the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's the choices you make, you know, and then the parties itself, like, and it started, rapping started by me just calling out each other's names. Like, I would be like, yo, Lucky Bling, can you double park my car? Can you move your car so I can get out? And the girls be like, whoa. So we both go out, we come back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they got cars. Then my man, his name was $1 Million Bill. I used to call him, his name was Bill, but I used to be like, we got $1 Million Bill in the house. Bill ain't have a nickel. Never had a nickel. You know, and then it was Skip from the joint. He was a little guy, but he was so hairy, he looked like he was old as a man. So that was Skip from the joint. We had the late, great Norm Rockwell. Then you had Charlie Rock. Everybody know Charlie Rock from the streets and hustling. And again, names just start flipping off. I named the B-Boys, Trixie, and at that time, the so-called brother twins, you know, but they was the N twins, you know. Again, man, it was just good times with really, I see now, with the parties and just doing what we did, man. And like I said, everybody plays a role in it, you know, and that's where we at. Just like it went around the world.
Is it true that you got La Rock from having a dream that you was in Mexico
Yes, I
getting money?
did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. With
Can
the
you
cartel.
tell us a
Okay, well
little bit
that
about
was a
that? That's
real cannabis
amazing.
strain. You know what I'm saying? And that was like right after what sparked it. To tell the truth was, Herc battled Pete DJ Jones. See, this is why people don't speak on that. But Pete DJ Jones controlled New York with the disco. Everybody know Pete. And when he battled Herc in the Executive Playhouse, like we used to come out with 1 truckload of equipment. But that particular day, Herc brought out every piece of equipment he had in his house, man. And I'm just looking at him, because back then, you know, I'm puffing Chucky Black anyway. But I'm like, yo, I never seen him act like that. And he brought out everything. And I mean, like, I was like, damn, you know. Then he started getting ready to play, but just before Pete, anybody came. So he said, Colt, you with me? And I said, yo. And Herc know, as people know, when Sugar Hill took my mellow, that was my code name, yo, my mellow. I would say my mellow's in the house. And I was like, yo, my mellow, what's my name? He used to be Coke LaRock. And I was like, then I'm with you, man. You don't need me. You don't need me. Because Herc took the Bootsy mask, that Bootsy record, and put the glasses on. And I'm like, he literally transformed. He loved the hip hop. I don't give a damn what anybody say or whatever. Herc that was his thing, man. And when he changed and he put on You're in the Right Place at the Wrong Time, that was the first record he put on. And I was like, go, my nigga, it's over. And Herc just did his thing, man. I got on at 2:00, but Herc did his thing. Because like I said, we're playing hip hop. He had to grab other cats and try to catch up with what was going on. But After that night, anywhere we went, we packed it. We made the PAL. We started, when they had groups there, 10%, they had people paying money for groups, and you couldn't stop a Kool Herc party. Y'all remember the block party we did at Taft schoolyard? They had the Savage Skulls protect us. At the time, they was like playing Macho Man once every hour. I didn't know that was them guys, but
Wow.
that's the record they wanted, and they circled and protected. Again, man, no disrespect to people. And we took Herc took that on the road. We played at everybody's recreation center. People didn't come on different parts of town. I remember going to Bronx River. I remember Mario. I remember a lot of people was being played and said, but again, I didn't see nobody neck and neck. We can say what we say, not taking nothing away from nobody. But guys, a Kool Herc party wasn't like the next guy's party. And
Absolutely.
then again, we just had, because we had the whole nucleus. We had, all the hustlers came dealing with me. All the disco people came dealing with Herc. And that's why I say everybody else was just wall to wall Scotty Malloy's. That's who they was. I used to say, the joint is jam-packed, back to back, standing room only, wall to wall, Scotty Malloy's. And that's what it is, And the Scotty Malloy's are the guys that just want to see the guys. Like, damn, they go back. They go Kool Herc. They go Copeland Rock. And then I remember coming in the party and guys was like, rock 'em, Coke. And I'd be like, what y'all talking? And they was like, yo, give it to them. And I was like, damn, they like that. They like my talking. And it just escalated. And then again, I can say what I say. When I was doing cannabis, I'm selling cannabis. I sold 160 nickels in 2 hours. 160 in 2 hours. I sold a quarter pound bagged up in 2 hours. I sold a lot of things. No disrespect to myself, but I understand the logic. But you can't get around that either.
We can talk about it now.
Okay, we could talk about it now, then they're in trouble, man. I mean, on all levels of this here, they was in trouble, man. Because again, like I said, I thank God and I thank everything that went on. I thank people for not coming to get me. Because I was large before guys got large. That's why I say again, I know I was the first G-Money man. I wore custom-made lizards, $375. I wore tailor-made, custom-made pants, $250, pepper silk and skin. I had 3 blazers, a quarter blazer, a butter blazer. Again, man, I brought a Herms hunting coat. That's what y'all used to see me come around with. Me and Herc had it on the side. That's what saved his life when he got stabbed, because the knife didn't go all the way through. It had 16 pockets on it. So when they checked you coming inside the little spots, I used to have my guns in other pockets. I didn't carry my gun as a tough guy. That was because we had a lot of money. And like they said, when it comes to the street, it's better for the police to catch you with it than the stick-up guys to catch you without it.
Yeah, that's amazing too. So, not to go too fast,
Yeah,
as you said, with Kool Herc getting stabbed, that was in 1977 that stabbing happened.
I can't say the particular year. That's another thing with the years.
Yeah,
I just know from the beginning and how it went on.
I want to get to that, but I don't want to fast
No,
forward
you
too
asked.
fast.
Yes.
The club situation, from my research and understanding, this is something that we can't like breeze over.
Okay.
You was pretty much the first independent promoter that promoted this. Like that is something. Not alone are you the first rapper, not alone are you the first stylist, MC, you also put up your own money to start giving the parties that actually made this flourish to what it is.
Yeah, but I take it again as the brotherhood that I have with people, man. Lucky Bling is knowing him, but I always said when he came aboard, he's my partner, man.
Absolutely.
Like I always said, Herc is my partner. Only certain guys can get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my partner, man. I always said 2 heads are better than one. And then again, to do things alone ain't a good thing, man. If you can't share the love, it feels better, man. You know, just don't be an idiot with what you're doing. But we go how we go and we do what we do. And that's why I say again with hip hop, you know, it's so different, but look where it went. Look how many people, like you said, it took them so many places. It ain't nowhere you can't go now. Even with the B-boy, now it's in the Olympics. Wow.
So, getting back to that, you put in $700 and made over
Yeah,
$10,000.
easy. We couldn't even tell people
Genius.
that. We couldn't tell people then. That was all $3. We couldn't tell people.
Genius.
Because that put the pressure on you too much. Like even that song with Biggie, that's what they used to do to me. Yo, Coke, some cats over here said they gonna stick y'all up tonight. This is why I had artillery. I didn't bring it for being scared or all that, but again, you got the makers, the takers, and the breakers. The makers make it, the takers sit back and take it. If you don't break them, then get out the game. I was taught about the game. That's why I said at that time I didn't want to portray that type of style, but that's what it was. Like I said, in the daytime, I'm with good guys. But when it get dark, it's a different type of crowd out there, brothers. And when you go in different clubs, it's a different type. And when you go on another block, you're not the baddest cat on the block. Everybody know who's bad on the block. And it's hard, man. That's why, again, with the gangs, and it showed how they went rampant and what you gonna do. But once again, BX born. That's why you gotta put the X up. I put that up too. Somebody took that, me and Benny Bronco. You know, again, it's just in me, man. I mean, like, people could say it, I'm hip hop, and nah, I'm hip hop. I can't get this out me, man.
In Carlito's way, Benny Blanco's a real character.
Okay, yes. That was my man, Benny
Come
Bronco.
on, people.
You feel me? Yes, sir.
Come on,
man.
people.
Benny Bronco, that's my dude.
He's a real character.
Real person.
Got
Benny
you.
Bronco, man.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx. It's actually a real character. You hear this? This is history today, right now. Wow, that's amazing.
Like the Clark Kent. The original Clark Kent came from Herc. First they had Timmy Tim. They don't even mention Timmy Tim. Timmy Tim passed away at an early age. That was the first guy Herc ever got to play on the set.
So the DJ?
Yeah, Timmy Tim.
Timmy Tim.
Then right after Timmy Tim, a minute or two, he got Clark Kent. That was with the twins coming from the 9. With Vinny and them, El Dorado, Mike, but El Dorado, Mike came through the hustling, so, you know, as a hustler. But Timmy Tim and Clark Kent. And that's why they thought I was Clark Kent. In between the names of, because me and Kent get on the set, they see Kent with glasses, they thought that was Kool Herc. You know? And the show again at that time, I used to play at the after hours spot. See, again, we was doing so much then, man, that we would go to the Hevelo from 8 to 4. But from 4:30 to 3 in the afternoon, I would be at the after hours spot, me and Herc. There was a gambling spot called Top of the Lane. Not the Hilltop, which was the commercial after hour spot. This was a gambling spot. Big Smitty and them owned it. You had to come in there with 100,000 or better. Guys lost cars in there. My man's father sold me a triple cranberry Toronado because a guy owed him 100,000. And he said, Coach, you got 4,000? He knew I had 4,000 because I'm with his son. And I live 2 blocks from the spot. He said, go get that, Coach. Go get 4,000. And you got that car. It was a brand new Toronado, just when they had it 4-wheel drive, cranberry. I ran home, got the 4,000. He made the cat sign the papers over to me. Next day, I went, got a cranberry suit, cranberry blizzards, and I drove up on the block, cranberry here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when they come with the collard greens? You know what I'm saying? Cool. Yeah. And I was going to Dick Gidron. I met Ali and Dick Gidron. Y'all remember when Ali used to walk down 125th Street? Ali showed love. He ain't any bodyguards. He was a people's champ. Come on, some guys was. I met Farrakhan on 116th inside the Shabazz store. when he had white lizards. I went to an after-hour spot right across from the mosque. I did
Farrakhan
too
had
much.
white lizards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. Y'all stop it,
Come
man.
on. Let's give it up like this. Yeah, I don't know this
I'm just
stuff.
saying, man.
This is history right
This is
here.
what plays out in a way of time that it cannot never be the essence of getting lost. And this is why Coke LaRock is still standing to this day, and at least he have a voice and he is who he is. And thank you for having us here that's bringing this to a bigger platform and taking this to a different level, because all these people and younger people, I say, because he's close to 70 years old. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Amazing.
He lived throughout time.
Yes.
And I'm blessed to be his partner, just like Kool Herc and everybody else. But this is what history is supposed to be told. This is the foundation. This is where it all first started. And, then the bricks came layers after layers after layers and formed where it's at now, a strong bond and everything. But please don't forget where Coke started this. And this came out of nothing. When there was no money, there was just for fun, and it was all about unity, peace, and love. And all the gangs was involved with that. That's why there was so many murdering and so many gangsters and so many. After a while, somebody was like, too much bloodshed. We're gonna have to sit down and put this, to rest and see how we could form into a unity and do it in a business style, because they were seeing that other people was doing it in a level of making money differently. And that's when corporations started building, and CEOs and everything else that became a brand. And so Harlem had a brand. The Bronx had a brand. But it was beautiful because the Bronx was always with Harlem, and Harlem was always the Bronx. And that's when it opens all the 5 boroughs. And that's how strong this became. Hip hop became a movement, as with all respect. I hope Chuck D don't get mad at this, but Coke Rock was the speaker that maybe inspired Chuck D to do, say the powerful movement and other people, you know.
I don't think he denies that.
Yeah,
Yeah. He doesn't deny that. Yeah. Nah.
But I like to put it out there because he got to understand that the way I feel, the same way everybody got their own story, how they see a perspective, or you could say today was the sky was blue, but it was really shady, So in my view, it became so strong, and then look where he took it to. He took it worldwide himself, and it opens a lot of doors, and that's the power of freedom of speech, okay? And the voice of Coke Rock made movement. It broke errors, barriers. It did a lot of stuff that people was not expected. Look at, like we said, Malcolm X. Look at Martin Luther King. These are pioneers. These are icons. These are legends throughout all history, throughout all around the world. Because they didn't just touch one area. They touch everybody somehow, somewhere, in some form. But now, what I say is, this man right here, he is who he is. And I am blessed, and we all blessed, like I said again.
Absolutely.
And that he's still here. Let's take advantage of this.
Yes.
And let's
Yes.
take this to a stronger place. And let these young kids understand that this man is where you hear Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, all this. Because the only thing they see is maybe Ron DMC, let's say. That era. Because remember, Ron DMC broke the barrier also, with the rock and roll. And they merged, and then they became global. Fine. But let's go back. And this is where your setting and your platform is at right now, to make sure that everybody knows who is Coke Rock, and who is the legend, and who is the pioneer, and who's the icon.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely. And that's why I do like people like KRS-One, who we consider a legend.
Correct.
He names him
Of
first.
course.
First
And the beauty
out
of
the
KRS-One
lineup.
is that he took also, everybody took something of someone.
Look, he lost Scott LaRock.
Yes. He took
LaRock.
Scott LaRock that had the same name as Coke, that picked up the same name. And that was, very sad, because like I say, even Coke, he even said it, we all cried. And when you cry for someone, that you sometimes other people don't even touch hands, and you feel something because they left this world too soon, and you was part of that, or you gave him a blessing, and look where he took it to. Man, this is what hip hop is all about, man. This is glory. And I want to tell you something. Another thing is what Kool Herc and Coke Rock did was, with all respect, everybody, for me, Woodstock. Because when they did that in Taft High School, it became bigger than life. Everybody from everywhere was coming. Remember, we didn't have no phones. We didn't have no pagers. Everything was word of mouth. And if you don't hear that music really ringing to your ears, you will not be coming, setting in that area. And it became bigger than life because if you stand in top of Taft High School on the top layer, you will see, I'm talking about at least 3 block radius of everybody united and everybody coming as one. And nobody got hurt, nobody got stabbed, nobody, and that's the weirdest thing. Because they say when we get together we don't know how to act. Nah, this was music and this is global. That's why music is so global, it's so beautiful, and it is also entertained at the same time, it's mental, and it takes you in different stages. And a lot of people don't know that.
One of the beauty things about what you just said, so, my brother was next door neighbors with Coke. I'm not with Kool Herc. And he helped, with the records and
Right,
stuff like
right. He
that
only
to take
trusted
out.
certain people.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. He was his actual next door neighbor.
Right.
And he always told me that people came from Queens everywhere.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
I
He
had
said,
a
yeah, I
guy.
did that in a place that they
Listen,
came from
I had a guy.
everywhere.
He grew up in the Bronx. Late great Popeye, brother to Butchie LaRock, the third person that took LaRock on his name. We grew up in the Bronx, and he moved to Cali and became a pimp. And he used to come once a month to a Kool Herc party, fly in, and he said that was
Cali.
something you couldn't understand. And for Popeye, he didn't dance because he's a pimp. He used to dance with his fingers. He used to be like, Coke, put on that James Brown, Sex Machine. And that's as far as he dancing. But he had 20 ladies, But again, to show you the love everybody had. Just like now they getting into, did Spanish was there. There was all nationalities. That's one thing I say with me, myself. I never had a prejudice bone in me because athletics taught me different. Athletics ain't a color. Like I did all sports. I had a friend, Wong Lu. He was Korean, Chinese. He took me to Chinatown, taught me ping pong, and even with the side of the street. That's why Chinese men used to iron shirts and their eyes be chinky, because they smoking opium. I had another friend. His name was Alphonse Giacchetti, Italian kid. He was in my class. His father owned a shoe store. That's how I had custom-made Italian shoes on my feet. I had a Jamaican friend. He was with what he do. Again, I didn't have no prejudice. True again, born in the Bronx, man. I know my people come from North Carolina. I know how the other side is, but once again, until you bring it on me, I don't bring it back on you. So growing up as a kid, man, I remember going to church. That wasn't a choice. We didn't have a choice to dress till you got old enough. Your mother put your clothes out of whoever. You had 3 sets of clothes: school clothes, play clothes, and church clothes. Where that went. Once again, the principles. And now I see church taught you how to listen because you couldn't talk in church. This is why nobody listen no more than nobody. Not to say religion is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Just say that again. Say that again.
Like I said again, church teach you how to listen because of the fact you couldn't talk over the pastor and your mother or whoever smacked you in your mouth. You had to listen. So on that level, it's just a level of religion, till you're able to make a choice. But you better believe in something, because that's how I was, man. I believed in a higher power. It's just after a while I got old enough, because a story, my grandfather, my grandmother was the deacon lady. She went to church every Sunday, rainstorm, whatever. As I got old, I had to drive her to church. But my grandfather, he wouldn't go. He would only go if they give her an award or something. And as I was like 15 going on 16, so I used to drive her to work because I was 16. I started getting a permit license. So I was like, Grandpa, why you don't go to church with Grandma? He said, what? So I was like, why you don't go? He was like, grandson, I'm going to tell you this Sunday. I'm going to tell a story to her that you got to do something with me. And I'm going to explain to you how I feel about that. So I took my grandmother to church. I told her I got to do something with my grandfather with the car. Came back. He took out 3 Bibles, the Quran, the regular Bible, even the Mason one. And he said, look, this is our religion here. He said, but some of them pastors, like, keep coming around. Damn, I thought I shut it off. And I was like, what? He was like, sometimes I don't like when the plate keep coming around. And then some of them get money, some of them don't. On the level of, he said she can do what she do on the belief of faith, And I was like, wow. And then I did see sometimes, where they would stay good and the church is still messed up in the manner of the people. And the ladies might not only have $10 and they give it all, but you got to believe in something. Like my grandma believed in God to the fullest. To the fullest. I used to be scared of funerals till she passed. And at her funeral, everybody called her Nana. And I was like, that's my grandma. What they? Nobody had a bad thing to say. And one day my grandma told me, some people are angels in your life. You just don't know. But they there for a reason. And I started seeing it through people, good people, And again, man, your life is what you make it, and live the life you love and love the life you live. Still talking music, still talking songs. And another thing, I ain't never really catch you cats playing slow music then. At 2 o'clock, I used to play For the Love I Gave by the Delphonics. I used to play The Whispers. I used to play Smokey Robinson. I used to play Blue Black Ivory. We danced, and I would play for them, and everybody knew. And I used to tell you, just before you go to the Mo, take this with you, and I'll play 4 slow records. And that's when hustlers leave early. You leave an hour before the regular crowd.
Speaking on the church thing, because that really hits home to me. I grew up, everybody on the platform that,
Yes,
where I
yes.
stand at with that. I grew up in the church. I went to a private school that was a church all my life. And I was on the usher board, all of those things. We went to Sunday school, had to do everything. And I could say that if I honestly look at my life, it was when I broke away from that, it all went, spiral for me. It was when I left that order, when I left that it's like leaving the Garden of Eden almost. Then, like the prodigal son leaving home. Okay, you leave home, I'm gonna let you experience what the world has for you. I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful for the Lord that I was that prodigal son that woke up in the pig's pen like, whoa. I come from something better than this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, 100%.
And I got up and I looked forward to go back home. And yes, I do think that that's one of the things that's missing.
Yes. It's fact. Like I said, that's why I said I gave the part of going and seeing, but that was the part. That was the part. And these young kids don't have it.
Yes, they don't.
They don't have it.
They don't.
We always blame it on the drugs, took over the parents, which it did a lot, but still the principles we got away from. Everybody, we did.
Kept everybody united. And on top of that, if like he said, if your parents was on drugs, your grandmother take over and make sure. So there's always a guardian looking over you and taking you to keep you in line and make sure that you were safe in a safe haven.
Yes.
But
look,
if your mom's sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
If your mom's was doing her thing and with 2 or 3 different men or whatever, grandma take you away. And you don't see none of that. You only see moms as moms. You see dad as dad.
Like I said, what happened to your godparents? They don't have that no more.
Right, they don't have that no more.
That was in case your parents mess up.
Right.
Yeah, that was major.
Now you see it. You had 2. Herc is my son's godfather.
That's right. That's right. Yes, he
Ante
is.
Lara, Herc is his godfather. See,
Wow.
the shoulder, the unity, like I knew Herc's mother and father. Herc had a chance to know my father. My father ain't lived with me till 22, but still, we knew each other parents, man. You know, that's gone.
Yeah.
Then the kids are running the parents. That's unheardable. You know, but now it's just like I said, with luck and different people, I'm a heart seeker, man. Either you got a heart to run or not. I mean, again, I've been in the jungle enough. What I'm eating bread with the lions for, you know. How long? Well, I want to get eaten by a lion?
Yeah.
You know, and that's with me. Like I said, people, please, don't get confused with some of the things I say. I'm talking about the 70s. I'm talking about how I was molded, you know, and that's the part y'all can't see. That's why I say, do your grandpa look like this? I don't think so. But the love we got to show toward each other, man. I know people hate to hear, blah, he's talking that old. It is what it is, man. Let's really try to enjoy each other to a degree, you know, but it's so much jealousy, envy, that come with life too. That's why I say you got the good and the bad and the ugly, man. But I'm trying to roll with the good. You deal with the bad and the ugly. But nothing's wrong with that either. Thank you, man, for even acknowledging me. That's why it jumped right away.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
were just sitting next to each other. And a certain person introduced us, and we went from there.
Major shout out to King Eric. That's my guy. That's my brother. Major shout out to King Eric and his basketball movement. For those that have children that want to
Yes, St.
play
James,
ball, yes.
Mike Simmons tournament. He's been doing it over 20 years. That's where I've been, like I told cats. I wasn't in jail. I wasn't down south. I was in 192nd St. James Park to the St. James team.
Yes, please bring the kids through
Yes.
from 8 to 14 years old. My boys are a part of it, and you definitely, it's structure. It's structure all in itself, something that we're missing so much in these generations. Getting back to it, it was these clubs that y'all took over, and
Yes.
it's one that sticks out to me because I always heard about it as a kid. It was beyond my time, but Harlem World, I knew was on 116th Street. They
Okay,
said.
but
When I grew up, it was a supermarket, but they used to
Okay.
always talk about that was the legendary Harlem World. Black Door, Ecstasy Garage, Disco Fever, the Heaven Low, and they say that's where you,
Hevelo.
the Hevelo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Hevelo.
They
No
say
thanks.
that's where
Yes,
you got,
yes.
you know, that's actually where you
Yeah,
took
yeah,
your
where I
name
took upon
officially.
Coke Rock. Yes.
Yeah, you know, can you, someone like me, I don't, can you,
Yeah,
tell me that
the
about
Hevelo, like I
that
said, the
world.
Hevelo was right after we've been at the exec for a minute doing what we do. And it seemed to always happen, you know, we was like, try to build the place with the money they made. But at that time, they was just taking the money, putting it in, running with it. So again, we had to leave them because we always used to do like 60-40. We trying to help you fix the spot up just as well, but everybody get that money like they do now and they run. So we was like, that's it. We was mobile. Like I said, when it turned into a Kool Herc production, then, like I said, after them telling me not to talk, then I was like, Herc, and then after that, we ain't had to worry about that no more because now it's under us. That's why my mouth started going a little better, and look what came out of it. But the Hevelo itself, it was where like Harlem guys came up. See, but Harlem wasn't coming back up to the Bronx until Herc and us got in there. Like I said, friends I knew. There was a guy called Bang. Bang was one of the first big boys up in there. And I never forget, some guys started fighting in the spot. And Bang was there. And Bang would have sicked the team on him, dragged them out. And Bang said, Herc, give me the mic. He said, let me let y'all know my name Bang. He said, y'all start that in here, we're going to run you out of here. It's Kool Herc and Coke Rock. Let them do what they do, and I'm Bang, and I'm up in here. And all of a sudden, if cats know Bang's history, that brought Bat up.
Got you.
Bang brought Bat up there because that's part of that team. Then on the other side of the fence, there was some cats called T-Ty and Rory. Those was my dudes off Amsterdam. We had Chop from 145th. The people with the money, like I said, you had guys, G-Money men. And when G-Money men come, like I said, again with the parties, there was no searching nobody. So then again, the strong stood up. There was over 50, everybody had a gun to a degree. So you had to really watch yourself. This is why I said again, things happen to you when you're in there because you wasn't strong enough. Sometimes you're not. They brought my cousin. He in the party. He came, coke, blah, 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 just stuck me up. I'm like, oh, man. But I had to go and get his money back. So I went to the stick-up kid. I knew him and how we talk. I said, yo, nothing personal. You got to give my cousin back his $70, man. You know, give him back his $70. You'll never see him in here again. And he looked, and he knew, because I said, other than that, I got to take his money back. And he knew I was a good guy. No thing. I got money on me. But I had to do that for my cousin. And he gave my cousin back his money. My cousin couldn't come to a Kool Herc party for a whole year because you wasn't strong enough. And I can't be doing that.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I only can hold me down. That's why we did the rope and all that. Guys didn't, that rope, and I used to tell you.
Y'all
if
created
you cross
that too.
Yes.
I created the
Come
rope.
on.
Come on,
man. Come
stop,
on.
man. Yeah, we did the rope.
Tell
We
them what
had
you used to sing.
I
Tell them what you used to sing.
I used to say, if you come past the rope, you get nothing but death this way. And I was the echo chamber. See, I created the echo chamber.
Death.
It used to be Kool Herc, Coke, rock. Timmy Tim. I put the echo on the echo. I didn't need the echo machine. And that's why that talk created with the rock and you don't stop. Like I said again, I had the party going like this in the Hebrew, and I said, oh, you rock and you don't stop, because you're now listening to the sounds of Kool Herc. And my first battle was with Ronnie D from the Hebrew. But I didn't know nothing about all that. I was hurt and battling a little thing. And I'll never forget, I'm playing, and I could hear a muffle of something. And guys are like, yo, Coach, Ronnie's trying to say something to you. He was in the Hebrew booth playing. We had a Herculoid system. And I'm like, yo, I do hear him mixing in something. So he's saying something. So I cut the music down. I said, Ronnie D, what's going on? He said, Coke, I want to battle you. I was like, what? So I kept playing the music. He kept cutting in. So my team like, yo, Coke, get him, man. So I was like, yo, Ronnie D, what are you doing? He said, Coke LaRock, I want to battle you. I was like, okay. I said, you know who I am. I pulled out a G. I put it on the turntable. I said, you put your G up and let the crowd decide who's the winner. He didn't have a nickel once again. So now I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. You ain't got no money, you keep barking at me. Then he jumped in again. And the team was like, yo, get him for free. And that's when it came out me. And I was like, Ronnie D, I liked it you. I said, but right about now, there's not a man that can't be thrown, a horse that can't be run, a bull that can't be stopped, and there's not a disco that Kool Herc can't rock. And do the music on him. Then I had to tell him I'm a G-Money man, kept a G of better any type of weather, cold or hot, rain or not, born in an orphan, fought like a slave, fucking and fighting, it's all Kool Herc played. Because if a freak is unique and that's the freak you seek, I guess before you go, the freak be on the bowl. As long as the music's not stopping, the rocks are dropping, the champagne is flowing, the freaks will be going. Hotel, motel, you don't tell, we don't tell. Get him!
Yeah, wow.
And that was it. They ran him out the spot. That's it, man.
But the beauty of this, that when now, if you break down his bars, it's so epic and it's so timeless. Why? Because a lot of people won't understand it because they wasn't at that time and era. But if you really somebody break it down, Like what KRS-One does, he break down bars and he break down historical, and he's the teacher of lyrically. This is very, very defined to something that would never stop because the words that he used, champagne is flowing, the freak will be going. If you start breaking little bit by little bit, it becomes a book. It becomes a
Absolutely.
book. You know, it's epic. And a lot of people got to understand that also. Sometimes we could just talk, but if somebody become a listener more than like me, that's why I'm always quiet. You know, but when I talk, I try to give a little bit more than what other people suspect, and I break it down a little bit more finer, like that people could do the real research. Because sometimes they just see Coke as Coke the Rock, the first hip hop MC. Okay, let's go my merry way. But no, you got to define where everything bit by bit started and where it transformed to the next level, and that's the beauty of hip hop.
Yeah, that's amazing right there, brother. So not only are you on top of all the other things, you the first battle rapper.
There you
Come
go.
on, man. Come on, man. Give it up here,
Just saying, I'm just saying.
we getting into so much history right now, man. So 1979, you decided to walk away because of the violence.
Yeah, and like I said, like even the night Herc got stabbed, like I always kept my gun with me. I mean, I had to due to the fact of the money and how we moving. And it's funny that it happened in the executive playhouse because I never go to the bathroom in the executive playhouse to a degree. And I lived 2 blocks from there. So like I said, I went home to use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So when I come back, I see the police lights and everything. I'm like, damn, somebody done did something in the party or outside. And they was like, nah, Kool Herc got stabbed. It just flipped me. So I was like, what? Who? And they was like, some guys, whatever, whatever. So I said, where they at? So they was like, one guy, my man Kasim, Karate Kasim, I can say it now. So Kasim said, Coke, I stabbed him up. I don't think he's, whatever. So he was like, go to the hospital, man, check on Herc, man, because he seemed bad. And I went to the hospital right up the block on Mount Eden, Bronx, Lebanon. And I got in there and they had Herc on the grain, on the gunny, man. And like, I got stuck, man, because I lost a good friend in my life. And I'm like, damn. And I'm crying, just looking at him on the granny, man. And Mike was with us, that he used to do the lights. And I was like, Mike, you know these cats, man? He said, I've seen them, Cole. So I said, okay. I said, we gonna go hunting, man. We gonna find these cats. I'm crying. Then Herc's father, he seen it, because like I got stuck. I wouldn't move. He said, Cole, I know you feeling bad. Let me hold your gun. He said, because you're gonna do something bad. And I was like, Mr. Campbell, please don't take my gun. Not right now. He said, Coke, I got her. And I was like, oh man, oh man. He said, hold on 1 minute. He went and talked to Herc. Then he said, Coke, Herc wants you. So I went in there. Herc was like, Coke, wait for me. I know what they look like. Wait for me. That's the only thing slowed me up. So I came back out the room. I gave Herc father my gun. He said, come get it, 8 in the morning. I'll give it to you. Give it back to you. Because he knew I was gone, man. He knew I would have did something that I probably would have regretted. And the next morning, went and got my gun. I went right to Mike's house. We went on the hunt. We kind of felt who they was, but they was in a pool room. It was like 30 guys in a pool room. And when I walked in the pool room, I had 2 guns on me then. I had my 3.7 and my 4.5, because I was bugging. My pockets full of bullets. And I went in there, and the guys, they was part of the exec. So that the guy was like, Colt, yo, what's up? I was like, you know what's up, man. I said, one of your people stabbed my man, and if he's in here now, I'm going to kill him. So he was like, nah, don't do that, don't do that. I put 2 bullets in his hand, mushed him. Get the fuck out of here. but people started leaving out. So they creeped out at the same time because Mike didn't really know who the person was. And then about a week later, Herc was good, but they sent that person, whatever. He didn't die, but he was stabbed up. And that's when I said again, like, as it got to where, like, damn, now it's coming to the murder part. Because if I'd have been there, I'd have shot the guy that stabbed Herc, because they wasn't aware of what I had. And then we was playing at the Zodiac. That was the last club that I started playing at. And y'all knew Mandingo, that was the security at that time. But when young kids, like the young up and coming stick up kids or whatever, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm still getting money, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to kill nobody kid for $3. I really didn't. And scratching had just started coming because we had the Imperial JC. And at first, I couldn't take the scratching because that's all it was scratching. So I was like, you know what? It's time to pull it back. And I pulled back. And then from then, after the Imperial JC, everybody that was Kool Herc became a Herculoid. For those who always say, Kool Herc, how do you feel to be a Herculoid? I was never a Herculoid. I was Kool Herc. The Herculoid was the sound system. But as after the Imperial JC, everybody that did business with Herc or Herc did business with became a Herculoid.
That must have been some type of night to see Herc in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, again, and I lost one of my best friends at 18, Mark Walters. Never told his name, never. But he taught me the street. He taught me, man. And I'm still here.
So after you left and decided to, you know, bow out to, you know, and let them go that angle, I think it was maybe not even 2 years later, we get this girl, and I remember being, actually, I was like 4 years old, man, but I remember it was the lady on MTV, because that's all we used to be able to watch when I was a little kid. That's all I had. So I was there as a little kid running my mom's room and, you know, watch the rock and roll videos. I was a John Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses. All of them, I knew all of them. Before hip hop. Yeah. Duran. I used to love Duran. I mean, that was my, as a little child, that was my thing, the rock and roll. And then I see this lady, Blondie, and she's rapping, and that became the #1 song in the USA, and it was the first time MTV played some type of rap music. How did that affect you?
Really, I didn't follow it. So this is what, when I stopped, I stopped.
Oh.
This is why, like I said, I didn't even go to shows, man. And to get it, another part that people don't know, I had DJ Barron way before he went up the T Connection play on our set, because Barron's brother was one of my main men, the original Diamond D. It was, I had two guys always was with me, Barron's brother, who I called Diamond D, and my man Hassan. The both of them, they was my left and right hand man. And I had Barron play on the set. Now he's the Sasquatch master. He's gonna be at Chirac Day, June 1st. Let you know it's coming up, and they're gonna be in Gun Hill Park. It's Ladies Month. Gotta support the ladies.
Shout out the ladies.
Absolutely.
Yes. Empowerment for the ladies.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
June 1st, ladies. Yes.
Great.
Roxanne Shantay gonna be there.
Yes. Bunch
gonna
of
be there.
ladies go. That's ladies time, man.
And that's the
Yes,
honorable
y'all got
thing. That's
it.
the beauty
Y'all
that
gotta
she
come
also have a voice, and the beauty that, you know, as a female, she is giving back and honoring and paying her dues and her flowers to other pioneers and other legends. And that's the beauty of this culture. You know, a lot of people don't understand that, like Coke says, and I say, you know, we sit down and we look at this culture revolving in different ways, but it broke a lot of barriers. And you know, now even country music is doing hip hop.
Yeah.
Gospel is doing hip hop. You know, I remember when Coke was in the room, nobody even saw that Coke was playing. They thought it was Kool Herc playing in a dark room, and it was Coke Rock for 2-3 hours playing there while Herc was at the door. So how could Herc be at the door collecting money and playing at the same time? But a lot of people was so much into whatever they were doing, their mind was just enjoying the music, and they were in a setting that they were also, as much as you thought that not only it was very protective because nobody acted really up and nobody really got hurt in there. Outside in the alley is different, or a girl did something nonsense, her man smacked her up or her pimp is different. But everybody had respect for Coke Rock and Kool Herc, and this is what hip hop is all about. You
Yeah.
know,
And with your intellectual, the way you describe things, how did you feel about Blondie?
she she did open doors in a way, and she took advantage of it. Just like if you see something that nobody looks at, and she polished a gem and just gave it light, and it reflect to different places, and it brought it to another scenery. And when she did that, she had the members there. It wasn't like she was trying to copy them. That's what's the beauty of it. Other people in corporate, they see something and they copy it and they put another figure, another color, shape, or form.
Well, didn't that's how Sugar Hill popped up, right?
Right,
Yeah.
I
right,
knew Big Hank.
No,
I knew
that's
Hank.
what
Let's
came
go.
right afterwards.
Let's
right,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
Stop
afterwards.
all
You know
this.
what I mean?
Come on. It ain't hard, but
So that, everybody look at a strategy and try to commit to it and try to take it to the next level, one way or another, even if it hurts the next guy. Let me put it that way. Even if you take it from the next guy, even if you making sure that the next guy is not eating, but you are eating, but it was really the first guy.
She did a good job. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
she
saying?
did a good
Because I
job.
ain't gonna lie.
didn't
The
that
song
make
was
Fast
hot.
Five
Yeah,
Freddie?
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
that
of course.
make that
Yes,
gentleman?
yes.
Because I was in Amsterdam, thanks Steve Hager. I'm 2010 Culture Cup Award winner. I'm in
I was
Amsterdam
gonna
with
mention
him,
that.
and a gentleman came to me and said, "You know Fast Five Freddie?" And I was like, "Nah, what's that?" And he said, "Then you can't be the first MC. You can't be in hip hop." And I was like, "You know what? You better back up from me. I'm gonna let you know I come from the Bronx. You know, I'm gonna smack your little face." And he was a millionaire, and I had to like check him, like, stop, man. And he had to apologize a day later because, again, man, not knowing me. And I don't, I don't wear Coke Rock on my back. I don't, again, if you know, you know. I'm glad that people are bringing it to the table. But me, I love who I meet through the game. It's a pleasure to meet you. No,
Definitely.
you hear me?
It's an honor
Well,
to meet you,
I'm telling
brother.
you,
It's an honor.
I feel it just as strong back.
Yeah,
Guys
it's an
don't
honor, brother.
feel that, man,
And,
and let it be what it is. But you'll never get rid of the greed. Certain things you're not. It's not gonna. I'm not phony with that. It ain't gonna never be a perfect world. Like I said, you got guys that bite noses off. You got guys that drink milk. You can't get away from that, man. It's the peer pressure that's on guys that make a lot of things happen. We don't say it, but we know it. Same thing in hip hop. Look how guys are following guys and they telling little girly stories about people. Whatever. You hurt yourself. That's why sometimes guys are like, Coke, I'm gonna take you to the next level. What is the next level for me, man? Where are they really putting me? God left me here to tell my story. Like I said, I'd have been the first John Belushi. I'd have been certain guys that passed away because I was before my time. And once again, let's get back on the block. I was called half a quarter kid. I didn't get nothing less than 3.5, if you understand what I'm saying. And this is when it was 375. This is when it was again, man. That's how I know. I'm starting to talk, man. I'm just saying, man. And like I said, that's what came out of that cannabis dream. I went to Mexico, and I'm with the team because something happened one night in the Hevalo. This is what made the dream come up, but in a reality, one of my friends came in, and he said, Coke, it was about three of us. He said, yo, we're not going home. I got money. We're going to Mexico. So we like, come on, man, you high. And he was like, nah. He lifted his shirt up. He had 100,000. I know a lot of bank robbers. He had 100,000. So we left. We all didn't go back home that night or nothing because we knew we couldn't go home. Your wife be like, where you packing to go? We went straight from the Hevelo to the airport to Mexico. Stayed 4 days. I came back Tuesday. I was at work. I worked at Bronx Mental Institution. I was at work, and they called me down to the office. They said, somebody want to talk to you. So I'm like, okay. I got in the office. They put me in a room. It was the feds. They was like, do you know Willie Bobo? I was like, nah, I don't know Willie Bobo. They was like, well, what you doing on the beach with him? What you? And they was like, if you in any more pictures with him, that's when the Rockefeller law came in. By association, by association. And that's what made me truly get out the game. Because just because I'm with you, I'm going to get that time.
Conspiracy.
Once again, sir. So to show the levels are growing, that's why I said they couldn't tell you my story. As a young man, I'm moving like a grown man, 30, 40. And again, man, I'm still here. And, things happen, man. But it's a pleasure and an honor when people do recognize what they recognize. And I appreciate it. This is why I stay with Lucky Blake.
Yeah,
His heart is bigger than cats could ever think, man.
Yeah, I can see that.
And a lot of friends. This is, I say, the corrupt, a lot of friends. A lot of people tell me, Cole, if you with him, I'm not messing with you. Then you know what? I'm not messing with you. That's why I say I am a man of my own. And I'm older than anybody that be around me. And I was always a boss. That's another side of the game. I was a boss. I was never a foot soldier, never. But that's what makes that thing there, you know, that combination. You know, like again, I was ashamed to say it in so many ways, but getting money is getting money. Better to have money than not have money. But what consequences come out of that money? I never went to jail. I stopped at the right time. And I understand life. That's why I didn't want that for my grandkids or to go out like in a bad way, you know, like, and I'm really living life through them now because, like I said, they know their grandpa. They like, my grandpa famous, you know, and I got to tell my grandson's story. He was 6 years old. He in preschool. And he called me one day. He said, Papa, they called me Papa. He was like, Papa, what's your real name? I was like, what you mean, what's my real name, man? He was like, Papa, what's your real name? So I said, go ask your daddy. Nigga, that's my son. Go ask your daddy.
Yeah.
So he said, no, I got to hear it out of your mouth. And he's 6. So I'm like, yo, his name Josiah. I said, Josiah, man, what? He said, Papa, come on. I'm doing something. What's your real name? So I told him. He said, you the first MC of hip hop, right, Papa? I was like, yeah. And he asked me a couple of more questions. So he hung up. I said, okay. He hung up. I hung up. I said, hold up, man. He was just questioning me about a lot of things.
Interrogate.
Right. So I said, I called him back. I said, yo, why are you questioning Grandpa like that? You the police? He started laughing. No, Papa. He said, Papa, it's Black History Month, and you're my hero, and you're the first MC of hip hop. Yo, I cried. I had to hang up.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
That's it. That's the only approval I needed.
Our children, yeah, and
Yeah.
even more so grandchildren.
That did just tore me up. And now I'm going through that with my daughter. My daughter, 39. She never knew Coke Rock. In the last 3 years, she know Coke Rock now. She got mad at her mother. You never told me that dad was Coke Rock. Because at home, I'm dad. Like when you had your boys,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dad.
Yeah.
He told me, get up, jump, stop cheating.
Yeah.
You feel
Exactly,
me?
yeah.
There we go. It again, man, and I'm now reliving it through her because of her, and it's just what it is, man. You gotta nurture what you bringing up. Those are our seeds, man.
Yeah,
You know, and we
amazing.
all parents. See, we got away from that. If I see your boy doing something, I'm gonna say, hey, I know your dad now. You want me to call him? Now you just let kids do what they do. Man. Come on, man. I can never see nothing happen.
Yeah, that's amazing right there. I mean, to have your grandson call and tell
Oh
you
man, yeah,
that's
yeah.
like
He
a
wrote three,
seal
four
of
books,
approval.
and but that there was it. That's why I said, oh, okay, now I got to really get myself back to who I am.
But to hold that from your kids is hard. You know, we from the streets, so we don't want no harm to our family, and everybody knows by our AKA name. But at home,
Yeah, they don't know
we
who
are
you
who they don't
really
know
are.
who we
They
are.
don't know
They
who
only
you
know
really
dad
are.
or uncle or something like that. And the strength of it is that his his daughter, my sister, I can say she's like my sister. You know, now she sees him bigger than life, more bigger than ever she ever even thought about it. Why? Because you could see the glow, and it all happened in Washington D.C. when she was invited, and you know, Coke was doing his thing on the mic, and he's in it was like over 60. With all respect, I never seen 60 bankers in the same owners of bank in the same place. Okay, owners of bank in the same place. But wait a second, Afro American. Okay, we did something beautiful, and so me and Coke, we out there emceeing and entertaining everybody, and his daughter shows up, and she said, "Dad, say who you are," because he already said his name, but let them know who you really are, and that's when she has embraced it. And I saw that. I took a look, and the most funniest thing, somebody caught it on video. And when you see that, it's so epically because it's so fresh and raw at the same time that it's like, wow, she never knew that dad was Coke Rock. So that's, it's stories on top of stories like this that make it so original and so epic and so beautiful. And it all depends how, whatever anybody that's watching this, you know, have your kids see some of this and you break it down however you want to explain it in your own ways. Like they could at least have a positive way of what Cool Rock and what you're doing and the platform that you taking it to and everybody that's involved in your crew, taking this into a positive stage. A lot of kids don't got no control. They born by themselves, they raised by themselves, they have kids too young. We had that, but we had guidance. We had somewhere to run. Even our next door neighbor will keep us 2 or 3 hours up there, feed us. You know, there's a difference. Now over here, these kids, nobody's feeding them, so they just hurting anybody, trying to take away $1. So I try to keep now everything in a positive way because that's where we take it. We pass a certain age that we got to show these young kids that we are here for you. You know, we 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 could hear you, and we could also be your guidance. So in a positive platform. So don't think you're alone. You got icons and legends that do care. Don't think we don't care about anybody out there. And that's the love and that we always built. And this is where we taking this to. We want to keep our kids safe. We want the kids to elderly, make them at least 10, 20 years live a little bit more.
It's all about the children
Right.
because
Yeah,
they're the
yeah, yeah,
future,
Right, they're
yeah,
our
yeah,
future.
Yeah,
yeah,
They
yeah.
yeah,
sponge.
yeah,
They
yeah.
suck up everything that
That's
we say or do, and now we gotta give it back. I gotta give a lot to everybody. Why? Because there's a lot of things like Coke saved us. The man upstairs always looking after us, even if sometimes we doubt it or we get upset. Nah, that man is so powerful, brother. Man, you don't even know. Even when you in the wrong place and you say, "If you get me out of this, I'm gonna turn good 100%." I'm gonna tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
we all
You
did
know, we
that.
all
I
say
We
know
all
that.
we
did
You
don't
know
that.
what I mean?
We
We've
several
been there
all
times.
did that.
before. You know what
Several
I mean?
times.
Yeah,
Several
we
times.
relapsed.
Several
We
You know what I'm
times.
relapsed.
saying?
We
So
relapsed.
we know. So we
Yeah.
know. You know what I'm saying? And he still forgive us, and we
Yes,
That's
yes.
still,
right.
you
Several
know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
times.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And that's where we at, brother. And I'm telling you the truth, man. That's where we at. So there's a lot of love out still out here, and the hip hop was, like I said, it was made of peace, unity, and love. That's where we all started from. It wasn't about hurting anybody or starting something. Or
Because there wasn't no money
there
at
was
the
no money.
beginning.
It was nobody damaged that. Nobody took control of it. It was just open for whoever it was. Like I said, it was the first Woodstock before Woodstock.
No, it was absolutely.
Well, the parties in the park turned into the
Yeah.
same thing. So, but
Yeah.
then, you had some parks didn't make it. Arthur Park didn't make it. You always had a stampede. Certain parks ain't make it because you just couldn't go. I remember we did a party in over by West Farms and Lamberg. We was playing for some people,
That's where the
mobile.
Queen is from.
Yeah, came out of, and they had the
Remember?
Lamberg Massacre. That's what we called it. Because one guy went out and smacked one of the gang members. And I remember he came back in, and Herc was like, I was like, Herc, get ready, because them gangs gonna come in here. We was playing in a recreation room in Lamberg. Man, when them gangs came in there, ran the cats out, it's a long run to the train station and bus stop. And they was tearing people up. We stayed inside. I said, Herc, let's not try to, because we got the equipment and everything. Let everybody run up. And we inside. And we stayed inside. And we marked that as the Lamberg Massacre. The same way when guys was playing and I went to the Valley. The Valley wasn't the most nicest place either because you had the gangs, Gestapo, and the other one, Intercrime. And you just couldn't go anywhere, man. I remember they tried to rob the party on Arthur Avenue, the Javelins, and certain places you couldn't go. You couldn't go on Arthur Avenue because you wasn't Italian. Italian ran people out of there.
Yeah, it was.
At one time, you couldn't go up toward Fordham, the Fordham Baldies, Again, with the gangs and how it was, man. But again, life plays a role, and things get better. And look at now how the gangs are, It's the same old thing, man. Some things you never gonna get rid of. In a city, it's how it is. Like when you said you try to move and do better for yours. Because it's a jungle, man. They made it. It's a jungle out here sometimes.
But the beauty of it also, look where the elements of hip hop took. The b-boys at the Olympics, graffitis now they become artists. It's not just art doing vandalism, because I was part of that vandalism, and for me I didn't see it as vandalism. I saw it as also a freedom of speech, and it was, for me, was one of the first internet. A lot of people don't understand what writers and graffiti artists and graffiti writers and all this bombers and all this, that it created this also history with hip hop, because that's one of the first elements of hip hop. Now, a lot of guys, some of them couldn't read, so they tag up on the walls. We had hieroglyphics on walls before anything. A lot of people don't know that, and it was all type of art, and it would tell a story, or it would tell whatever century or time or period. So that's what graffiti built, in a way of putting in a train station or put in a billboard or put it on the wall. Wherever they could put it, they put it, because it was a stampede of saying, I was here, or listen, this is where I would like to be at. Won't you come and see me? It was something like internet, what the kids now call internet. We didn't have none of this, so that's why I'm trying to break it down for most of y'all young kids. But it was a way of freedom also, and it was an expression, and it was a power movement also. So hip hop played not only on that, it plays on all levels. Look at fashion, where they took fashion. It was mostly in the Mecca of Manhattan, where we had all the fashion district there. And everybody else used to borrow the mink coats and all this and all the stuff that was going to Paris and all this. But we had control, and look where Dapper Dan took it.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of legendary stuff that, like I say, Kool Herc and Coke Rock put, but a lot of people ain't breaking it down the way that you bringing it out to this platform. And and you have the original here. So, this is what historical history is all about. It's about talking about it, because other people could say, hey, anything is anything. But when you have the original pioneers, the real icons, the real legends talking the story, you must listen. You must open up your eyes at the same time. Don't listen with your eyes closed. Listen with your eyes open. It might get you somewhere.
Yeah, and I love that. It's just definitely clap to that.
Bars.
Definitely. And one of the things that I truly believe in my heart that and that's what I tell the guys about making music, that we're writing our book down. So we need to be very careful of what we put down that gets recorded, because our children one day is going to be adults our age, and they're going to go back to try to understand something that they can't understand. And the only way they're going to be able to understand it, even understand who you were, is from what you left in record. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to have, you guys come here and you break this down, the real history of this, because one day my little sons,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, when hip hop, 40 years from now, when
The
they
100th
grown
anniversary.
adults and they saying
Right.
that, Eminem created hip
Right,
hop,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
My
Yeah.
kids will be able to
Yeah.
go back and look at
Right.
this video and say, wait up,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad was doing something
That's
back
right.
then.
That's right.
And
And this guy
this
came to the
guy
house.
at the house
Right.
Yes.
Shook
is
my hand.
that is the
Right.
first rapper.
Yes.
You know
yes.
what I'm saying? So
Right.
this is, what's so important. And
I feel good.
it couldn't be a segment that we could have that we could give all the history. So I could only hope that he comes back one day
Of course,
and
anytime,
grace the seat of the
man.
esteemed,
Anytime. Now, for
And
real,
before we
anytime,
close this segment, if you're gonna
man.
close it,
Anytime.
I'm gonna put a little bit what you just said a little bit also. That there's a magazine called Recognized Magazine. Me and Coke was honored to be in that magazine and said, Lucky, Coke, we just need two MCs and two DJs. We said no. We want our own magazine with our own name and our own platform, and we want to recognize people that's not getting recognized. Real pioneers, real icons, and real legends are not getting recognized, and we put them up. And right now, it became the special edition of the magazine, and it's called Recognizing the True Icons of Pioneers of Hip Hops throughout all the genres.
wow, that's amazing right
So
there.
that's
Good.
so we giving back also
Yeah.
through like that, because also like the cameraman never get recognized and he
Yeah,
put all the work in.
yeah,
A lot of people,
absolutely.
you see, we not
Much
corporate.
more
We
going
not
on.
corporate. So we not just shining light on whoever's on the screen. No, we doing the people that put the effort and the work and put everything together to make it and take it where it's gonna take it to. Because anybody could just say anything. No, it's the person that's putting it together. He's breaking more than 15, 30 hours just on one splice on a tape to make it correct and to sound good and to balance everything out. Also, the guy that's doing the photographing, he's making sure that out of thousands of pictures, there's only one picture that stands out of all of them. And that's the beauty of it. And that's where me and Coke put that platform and took over the magazine for that and made it Lucky Blink's project with Coke Rock, and it's called Recognized Magazine, and it's doing that because we put everybody around the world, even people that worked with Big Daddy King, people that was doing church, also doing hip hop in church, and we doing future legends also. So we trying to cover just like you are all around the board, giving the recognition and paying us our flowers to the next generation. That's what we doing.
That's
And I
really
have to
dope.
honor the one and only, the late, great K. Slate.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
wanted to talk
K
about
Slate,
K
most
Slate,
definite.
but like I
Champagne,
said, so
recognized
much.
magazine.
Yeah, no, like I said, we'll be
so
back.
much
I'll
that
be back.
Yes.
Now we can go there, and that's
it
a
has to
whole
be a
nother
That's
part.
story.
another
Yeah,
story.
No,
yeah,
Yeah.
I
part
have
two.
so much.
Yes,
It has to be a
yes,
part
yes,
two.
yes,
That's what I
yes,
said. I
yeah,
can only hope
yeah,
you come
no,
back.
No, I'm coming
and
back.
great.
Don't even. I'm saying it. I'm coming back.
And what you just said
Yeah,
is
Right.
so
coming
important.
back.
What you just said.
Coming
I
back.
want the world to again know. Much props to my partner Vern.
Yes.
Thank
you, Vern. Always.
Recognize,
Yeah.
recognize.
Thank you,
I
Vern.
wouldn't be here
Yes.
without him.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Much
you.
props to Space Ghost.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here without him, and y'all all know the queen. She's not here at this moment. Our son had a basketball game, so she's out taking care of the kids, but I can't do anything without them. So, definitely big shout out to them.
Sure.
And lastly, I want to tell you about these drinks that's on the table.
I follow that.
Oh, you know about it. All right.
Yes,
So,
sir.
me, my partner Vern,
Yes.
and my wife. It was a time where I was sitting back, and when YouTube really started going strong, I started seeing on all the platforms that, damn, they promoting liquor
Yeah,
hard. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah. They
saying?
always
I'm like,
running
you
that
know what I'm
way. They
saying?
was running
I'm
that way.
like, why everything got to be something that, leads to the destruction of our people? You know what I'm saying? And now pushing this hard body. And I said, damn, I would like to come up with something, that would be an alternative, that, might taste like it, but not it, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Wow.
And
Okay.
then
I
from,
know that.
me being deep in the
Yes.
Bible,
Yes.
how
Yes.
I
Yes.
do with understanding that when Jesus blessed the wine, he made it, if you really understand, it was like a non-alcoholic wine
Correct.
because they came up to him afterwards and said, this wine is different than the other wine because the other wine we drink and evil things come afterwards, but this wine we drink and it's like, it's happiness. And
Right.
so I understood, oh, that was, uh, like a virgin wine he made, a non-alcoholic wine. And I started looking into that with my partners, Vernick, and we came up with Sun and Shield, the throne room. And I would like to present you both with a bottle. You could pick whichever flavor you want. We have tequila, we have rum, we have whiskey, and gin. Thank you. You see, I can't. You see, like I
With a
do.
partner, you need
So I would like to present you guys. You could pick
Okay.
whichever
Yes.
bottle
Yes.
you
Thank
Thank
you.
you
guys
so
Thank
want,
you.
much.
and I
Thank
hope
you, man.
you guys really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, come on. This was
And
this was worth what it is.
yeah,
Like I said, in the heart, man.
yeah, this is in the
Yeah.
heart to me
Yeah. In the
too.
heart,
And
brother.
again,
Yeah.
shout out to my brother Eric King.
Yes.
Couldn't did this without you, brother. I really love you and respect you, and thank you a lot. And to the next time you have been here for the throne room, I hope that you all have listened and really took note to this. Shout out, much respect.
Peace.
Peace.